Hey, all right, week 34.
Yes.
Right, got that right.
Yes,
So,
well done.
and it's cold.
It's very cold.
It's cold, but we'll
It's
get
cold.
where
But
we are is for
we're
later.
going
But
higher,
so we're getting higher,
it'll
but
get warmer. We hope.
it did get colder in week 34 because we've had pretty good weather. A bit of rain in Canberra when we were there, but
week it poured with rain.
yeah. The rain. We've had good weather, but the rain hit us this week. 3 or 4 straight days, I reckon.
And overnight, it just it didn't stop raining.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we should tell you where we were.
Oh yeah.
We've been in Jervis Bay mainly.
Yeah, so we were headed to the beautiful crystal blue waters of Jervis Bay.
Which
apparently
everyone
some of the
has
whitest
raved
sand.
about. Yep.
It's won awards for the whitest sand.
Yep.
Beautiful beaches, lovely. We got there and it was very overcast. And then a couple of hours later it started raining. Didn't stop for the 3 nights that we were there.
It stopped one day. We were.
Yeah, it did stop for
we were
actually a
able to
little
go
bit.
for a walk one day, but it rained and rained.
But other than that, it was like a swimming pool out the side of our van, especially the neighbour's van.
The neighbour's van was really bad, but it was still a beautiful spot, and the water was still so clear, wasn't it? We didn't get to see the phosphorescent algae on the beach, which you should definitely go out and look at night if you're there. But it was just far too wet for us to go and even contemplate doing that at night.
Yeah.
But the beach itself that we got to was
lovely. It was
really
lovely to see. It was just wet. Yeah,
it was very wet. And we took, so from where we stayed at
Greenpatch
campground, it was amazing bird life. As soon as we arrived, all these king parrots just came and landed on the van. It was like a welcoming party, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really,
Well, I think they
really
come to see what food we had. But,
I think so too, but I'd prefer to, call it a welcoming party.
Right.
But also because, some of you may not know, I've been doing a little bit of work on the road, which often consists of Zoom meetings, and it was a good chance while it was raining for me to get some work done and do some meetings. And I had a king parrot while I was on my Zoom meeting fly straight at my head, which must have looked hilarious for the people that I was on the meeting with. But it was a little disconcerting for me. Anyway.
Anyway, we digress.
There were also a lot of kangaroos at the campground,
so
that was really beautiful to see as well, wasn't it?
It was wallabies, kangaroos. It was a lot of wildlife around. Really nice.
Really
and some of the rock formations around there were great. So we did a big walk, didn't we? Like an 8K walk one day. And we walked out to Scottish Rocks,
Bristol Point,
Hole in the Wall.
Hole in the Wall was cool. I really liked that.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I mean, all the rock formations, as you say, along there were just beautiful. But a Hole in the Wall was really. I kind of didn't know what to expect, and I really quite liked it.
Aptly named, Hole in the Wall.
Yeah, aptly named.
Yeah.
Yep. And then ran to Murray's Pier. Which we thought we could then get up onto the road, but it turns out they're doing some roadworks, and there was
all the water, the flooding has wrecked a lot of the roads there, so they're fixing those up. So we had to walk around the beach to Murray's Beach, which is cool. So we saw Murray's Beach, and then walk back on the road back to campsite. But
through the water because the road was flooded.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We got through it. It was.
That was the second last day. So the next day we took off and we took a drive out to the old Lighthouse, which was built by an architect who obviously had very limited maritime knowledge.
And didn't think to kind of ask the maritime experts any questions as to, is this the best place and is this the best way to build this lighthouse? So
a lot of shipwrecks on that coast because of the lighthouse in the wrong position. Then
they set off explosives to get rid of the lighthouse, so it's now pretty much rubble.
It's kind of rubble. There's some rooms, but the actual tower that held the light is gone, and it's just a crumbled old sort of big blocks, stonework blocks. But
still really cool.
Real cool to see. Yeah.
Cool to have a look at. And if you're there during whale watching season, there's a chance you'd see whales from that point. I mean, all along the east coast you can, but we haven't seen any as yet, but we're
a bit early. Well, people have said that they're in and about and still coming up, but there's not obviously that many because we haven't seen any yet. But we took a drive via the village. That was really just kind of a general store.
Jervis Bay village.
But it's good to know if you're camping, there is a general store there. You can get some stuff. But the highlight of that trip out from Jervis Bay to our night stop there was Berry.
Oh, Berry was cool. Yeah, that was very, very cool.
Fantastic.
So what I loved about that, two things, was the bakery, for what he said.
The bakery was a bonus.
Best meat
We were
pie.
told to go to the donut van.
It's a famous, apparently an Australian famous donut van.
And they make the donuts right there in front of you. And they are fresh, crispy and very hot, but fantastic.
So cinnamon donuts, traditional
But
cinnamon
before
donuts.
that, I had a pie from the bakery. I'm going to put it right up there with one of the best pies I've ever had.
That's a big call. You have a lot of pies.
I have a lot of pies.
All around
But that was
Australia.
one of the best pies
And
ever.
your
So Berry
High tour
is a
of
must
Australia.
stop, or anywhere near Jervis Bay. It's only about sort of 30 k's
Yeah,
from
it's not
Jervis
far.
Bay. Go to Berry, get a pie
cute
from the
little
bakery,
town,
get a
too.
donuts. In fact, the bakery had
The cakes
cinnamon
looked
scrolls and
amazing.
fantastic.
The cakes looked amazing. So
Anyway,
that was very cool. And the town, it was a really nice town. You could easily just
You could
wander
hang
through
out in
the-
Berry
I would have gone
for a
through the
weekend and
shops.
just have a look and sit by an open fire and
Eat donuts.
Eat donuts, I suppose.
And
yeah.
meat pies.
Yeah.
Is
You
that
need to do a
what-
lot of
is that what you
walking
wanna
though.
do?
You need to do a lot of walking around Berry because you're going to ingest some calories. That's for sure.
Yes, you certainly are.
Um,
And then on to Carrington Falls, which Aid has a fascination for waterfalls. We're on a bit of a waterfall trip of Australia as well.
I got confused though as to where we were aiming for. I wanted to go to Waterfall Way. And I kind of got a bit all my waterfalls confused and thought this was Waterfall Way. It's actually not. That's a bit further north, so we'll get to that later. But anyway, someone said you can go to Carrington Falls. They're quite nice, and they were nice.
They were beautiful, but the most beautiful part about that, I thought, was the drive up there, which was also quite a freaky drive.
Well, it was very steep.
Because it's very, very steep and very, very windy. I reckon it's the steepest, windiest road I've
Since
been on.
Switzerland.
Since Switzerland.
Yeah.
It's windier than heading up to Kosciuszko, I reckon.
Luckily, not as long.
Not as long, but it's still. But it was a really beautiful drive and
Lovely drive out to
it was a
Carrington
really
Falls.
cool drive.
Yeah. And some nice little towns in there. And there was we passed this town with a little kids adventure park or something.
Yeah, kids advent. It was a really cool,
Yeah, that
cool
looked
part of
pretty
the
cool too.
world. Carrington Falls were a huge drop.
Yeah.
Falls,
It was a good fall. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, they were
Part
quite
of it
nice.
was closed. We assume because of the floods again,
Well,
damaging.
not really shut if you go the other way.
No, the platform was closed, though. You weren't meant to go on the platform.
But you wouldn't know that from the other way.
Yeah, you would.
You would?
Yeah.
You would know that from the other way. You'd know that if you read the signs. One of us reads the signs and one of us just goes.
Forges his own path.
Yeah. But shh, if any authorities are watching, no, he doesn't. All right.
And that's it.
Well, we stayed quickly
stayed
at
at-
Corrimal Beach that night,
Yes.
which was just a stop on the way to Sydney.
Sydney, yeah.
But we needed
So
an
that was
overnighter.
near, just north of Wollongong.
Yeah, and because you wanted to drive on that.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about that later.
next week.
Next week we'll talk about that.
So we had a quick stop at overnight stop at Wollongong at the Corrimal Beach Tourist Park.
Yep.
Checked out the beach there. That was a nice beach. Interesting. So you could see the city of Wollongong on the beach there.
Okay.
Week 34.
See ya.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.